Happy National Nutrition Month today. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we're going to make a sweet, spicy tuna nori roll. Of course, you could use salmon or crab instead of the tuna, but I like tuna because it's affordable and a great source of omega-3 fatty acids. So to get started, we'll first just prep up the vegetables and the avocado that will go inside. So we'll start with the cucumber and just simply peel it. Now you don't have to peel it. I just enjoy peeling it. I think I just like the texture of the cucumber without the peel. And you can save the peelings for adding to a smoothie later or putting into your compost. So simply once it's peeled, you can set the peels aside and prepare the cucumber. I'm slicing off the ends just because they had a little bit of peel still on them. Begin by slicing them in half. My preference too is I like to remove the seeds, especially as we get into summer. Sometimes the seeds of a cucumber can be a little large. Not that they're not edible, it's just for my taste. So just simply remove the seeds from both halves. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to believe that if you ate a cucumber seed, it would grow a cucumber in your stomach. And of course, that's not true, but there's enough water in cucumbers to classify them as a vegetable that can actually help us with hydration. So, especially this time of year when maybe it's not hot enough to really feel like drinking a lot of water, cucumbers can be one more hydrating source in our diets. You just want to begin by cutting strips of cucumber like so. This will go down the center of our nori wrap. I'm going to set those aside. And with the remaining cucumber, just slice some nice cucumber sticks that I can enjoy alongside my nori wrap. I'm going to put those aside. Great. Next step is to prepare the avocado. I love avocado for its flavor, and we all know it's a great healthy fat, but you do want to make sure that you're not getting too much because, of course, it has calories and those calories add up. So I am going to prepare a quarter of the avocado for our nori wraps, and I'm just simply cutting slices of it, and then I'm going to scoop it with a spoon from the skin. As you noticed, I used a hard surface below the avocado. I've seen a lot of chefs cut the avocado in the palm of their hand. And while that's really convenient, one chef I actually saw cut through the avocado skin and cut his hand. So just word to the wise and be a little bit on the safe side. Always use a hard surface below the avocado. So in terms of preparation, that's all there is to it. This is a super simple recipe, but high impact. You can serve it obviously to friends and family. You can really impress dinner guests, or you can just call this a super fun lunch that you can enjoy, not just for National Nutrition Month, but literally year round. So if you haven't seen it, this is our nori sheet or paper, as you might call it. Probably have seen these seaweed wraps if you've ordered sushi out. It's the exact same thing, and it is made out of seaweed. What I like about the fact that the nori is made from seaweed is that it is a great source of iodine. This is important in our diets because there really aren't that many sources of iodine for us. I mean, if we choose iodized salt, that's probably the major source of iodine. If you're not choosing iodized salt, then the nori paper is probably a good choice for you. So I've got the tuna. It's a light white tuna, and I chose this because of its lower risk of contamination with mercury. So if you're looking for which is the right tuna to buy, it's the light white. And simply pull the top, and to drain it, you would just use the top here to press out the liquid and let that liquid collect that liquid in a bowl. The drier the tuna for this recipe, actually, the better, because we're going to be adding some sweet, spicy Asian sauce to this. And you don't want your nori wrap to get soggy. So a little bit of moisture helps the tuna spread and, of course, gives it a delicious flavor, but too much makes it a little bit soggy. So into a bowl, you'll collect the tuna. Ah, I want to be sure to get all of it because it's part of the recipe and how it was analyzed. And I'm going to break this up with a fork. And the smaller the pieces, the piecier the tuna in the bowl, the easier it is to spread evenly over the, the nori paper. So a fork simply breaks that up very easily. And then you can measure in your sweet spicy sauce. I choose to measure. I know really you probably won't use a tablespoon for measuring, but by measuring with a tablespoon, I can control how much of the sauce I'm using and also control the calories because this is the part of the recipe that does have added sugar. So I want to make sure that I'm not going overboard with the sauce. Probably about 3 stirs, and you can have the sauce incorporated into the tuna. Makes a beautiful, nice, moist tuna. And then simply you're going to drop this out on half of the nori paper. And it's funny, I've been pressing this out with my hand. I realize now I could press it out with a spoon, the back of the spoon, but I just want to make sure that the tuna covers about half of this nori paper. I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. I know you can see from there, but I'll give you a closer view so you can see. You can definitely hear how kind of light and crispy the nori paper is. And then you can see that half of the paper is covered, and then this open edge is going to be free for sealing. So to wrap this up, no pun intended, I am just going to lay out the sheet and add, oh, I forgot. I do want to add some, you can use pre-made quinoa or pre-made brown rice. This happens to be a mixture of brown rice and wild rice. I like that because it had just a little bit more protein and fiber. And again, you're going to add a couple tablespoons to your roll. It doesn't have to cover exactly the entire roll, but just kind of give a nice light coating layer across that tuna. Add the cucumber, and for my taste, just one strip isn't quite enough. I like a little bit more crunch to my nori wrap. And then our avocado. I don't know if I told you, but avocado, I'll save these for my second nori wrap. But avocado has stanols, and what's nice about stanols is it's a plant hormone that all plants have, but it's significant in avocado, and it interferes with our body's ability to reabsorb cholesterol. This is great, especially if you are looking for ways to watch your cholesterol or lower it. Eating avocados can help. But again, we want to watch the portion size. It does have calories, and they do add up. Now, if you watched me add the chili sauce, I added quite a bit. That's just my taste. I like things really spicy, and I love the contrast of the spiciness with the sweet chili sauce that I used before to mix in with the tuna. Believe you me, it is superb. Now, I'm going to add an herb, but I have several choices. I could add cilantro, mint, or basil. My preference truly is the basil. I've tried it all ways, and I love the basil. I think it just adds a nice freshness to this particular lunch. And whether you use mint, basil, or even cilantro, herbs have an incredible, they're power packed with antioxidants. And especially in these times when we're always looking for ways to stay healthy, including herbs in our cooking is really an easy way and flavorful way to do it. Now, if you're watching me roll this up, I just started at the end where I have the tuna and I'm rolling away from me. And I have this open edge where I have no filling. And I'm just going to take a little bit of water that I had set up in preparation and moisten this edge. And I'm going to get it moistened probably a good inch or half inch there because I want it to really stick when I slice this up. And voila, we have our nori roll. Hey, when people ask what are you making for lunch, you just say, hey, this is how I roll with a nori roll. And then simply cut your roll into about 1-inch slices. I'll make sure you get a clean cut all the way through. And you might notice the way I'm holding my fingers, I want to maintain the shape of my rolls. So I'm kind of holding the roll together as I slice through. You might find there's a better technique, but for me, using my finger knuckles as a guide really helps control the spacing and size of my sushi bites. Well, they're not really sushi, but they're like that. And then simply placing these beautiful bites onto our plate. We'll bring one up nice, close, and personal so you can see the beauty of all those ingredients right there. Place that right on our plate. Have to scooch these cucumbers off to the side a little bit further. And one more. And voila. We have a beautiful, fun lunch. And you see, I've got my chopsticks, so it's going to be super fun to delve into this treat. I hope you enjoyed these sweet, spicy tuna nori rolls. And I hope you have a very excellent and happy National Nutrition Month.